Let's look at our problem of the day. Read it along with me. Chris is replacing the fence around his backyard. The backyard is shown below. Chris measured 2 of the side lengths and knows that the width of the backyard is 15 yards and the length of the backyard is 30 yards. How much fencing does he need to buy? Go ahead and read the problem again to yourself while I do some annotations. Take a look at the annotations. What is the big question? What are we trying to find? Say it to your screen. That's right. Our big question is how much fencing does he need to buy? And when we're thinking about fencing, fencing goes around the backyard. So we need to find perimeter because that's the total distance around. Before we can figure out the big question, let's think about what we know. Look at the problem. We know that Chris measured 2 of the side lengths, and he knows that the width of his backyard is 15 yards. Let's label the width of his backyard. So we're going to label the width 15 yards. Now we know that the length of the backyard is 30 yards. So we're going to label the length 30 yards. All right, what are we looking for? Say it to your screen. That's right, we're looking for perimeter, the total distance around. But we only have the length and the width. So what are we missing? Say it to your screen. That's right, we're missing these other 2 sides. What shape is his backyard? It's a rectangle. Think back to 2nd grade. What do we know about rectangles that could help us here? Say it to your screen. That's right. In a rectangle, we know that the opposite sides are equal. So if this side is 15 yards, this side also has to be 15 yards. Let's label that. And again, in a rectangle, opposite sides are equal. So if this side is 30 yards, this side is also, you got it, 30 yards. I'm going to make note of that below before we forget. We just said that opposite sides of a rectangle are equal. And we labeled our rectangle to show that to be true. Great. So today we're going to work with shapes with missing sides. We're going to need to figure out and think about the attributes of the shapes to help us find the missing sides. So what attribute for rectangles did we just use to help us find the missing sides? Say it to your screen. Exactly. We know that opposite sides of a rectangle are equal. So our thinking question today is, how can we use the attributes of the shape to find the missing sides? Well, we found the missing sides, but what's our big question? That's right. How much fencing does he need to buy? So even though we found the missing sides, are we done? Say it to your screen. No, not quite yet. We still need to find perimeter. So let's think about what equation we could use to find perimeter. Remember, we can find perimeter by thinking about P, or perimeter, is equal to the total distance around the object. We can find the total by combining the sides. We could use the equation 30 plus 15 plus 30 plus 15. And then we can use what we know to add and make smaller groups to add together. So 30 and 15 makes 45, which means that 30 and 15 makes 45. 45 plus 45 is equal to, you got it, 90. So the perimeter is 90 yards. In answering the big question, Chris needs 90 yards of fencing. Great. How did we find the perimeter of this shape? Say it to your screen. Great math thinking today. We thought about how we can use the attributes of the shape to find the missing sides. And we knew that opposite sides of a rectangle are equal. We're going to use this same math thinking today when we're solving other problems.